Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. Cheese, how are you?
Nailed it, Jimmy. I'm good. I'm pretty good. Yeah, tough game last night for the boys. Just started off real poor in the first half. I think that's just what got me down at the moment. But they played really well in the second half. But just that first half lead.
How's the mood in the camp?
Yeah, like we're highly motivated. Really, really digging deep in training, like all the boys. Feels good, but just not executing. And we need to pull it together pretty quickly because it's getting down to crunch time.
I was going to say, do you think you can still salvage something for this year?
Yeah, well, there's still 18 points on offer. I think we can still make it run.
Yeah, nice.
3 or 4 games. Like if you look at Para, look at Cowboys, like these guys were talking about not making the 8. Now they're genuine premiership contenders. Like,
yeah, it doesn't take a good month of football.
Yeah,
the narrative quickly changes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be back
hopefully this week. Hopefully against Manly, but still touch and go. Still a little bit of pain. But yeah, progressively getting better, but we're aiming for this week.
Did you have your breakfast this morning?
Yeah, no, I didn't have breakfast this morning, actually. I didn't have any boogers this morning. High in protein.
Oh. Anyway.
No, I didn't actually have breakfast. The coffee's the first thing I've had this morning, so.
Oh, good. Good. Well, I'm glad you're not eating yourself.
No salty oysters.
No salty oysters, thankfully. The Dragons have officially denied Ben Hunt a release. What have you made of it all from a current player's perspective?
I reckon good on the Dragons and the board for coming to that conclusion. I feel like when a player wants a release, they sort of just get it hands free. Like a contract doesn't really mean too much these days. And I know he's unhappy, but he signed a contract, and I wish him all the best, whatever he does. But I'm pretty happy that the Dragons have just gone dug their feet in. Unfortunate for him. I know he wanted to leave, but I think that's where the Dragons have come to a decision that that's where they want to be, and that's the player they need in their squad. So, what did you think of it?
I don't think it's over yet.
Yeah,
mate. It's a joke that the transfer deadline is August the 7th. Like, that's after round 23.
I thought it was July.
No, Charlie, our producer, sent me an article and he's checked it. The end of round 23, which is August the 7th. Like,
that's right. Actually, Tavita Pangai.
Yeah, Pangai, Nofaluma did it last year. Come on.
That's way too late.
Like, it's way too late. It's not.
It should be middle of the year. Like, bang in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
round 13.
Yeah, round 13. If you're not moved, you can't move until next season.
Yeah.
Like, Ben Hunt could negotiate his way into a release for the end of the season now.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you can't go switching clubs now. It's way too late.
Yeah.
It's way too late.
I agree. And the fact that he was all right to go to the Broncos and play hooker.
I know. It just... It
smells fishy, but good on the Dragons.
Yeah, well, I reckon from a Dragons point of view now, like, it's clear obviously we know Ben Hunt doesn't want to be there, but for them, like I've said this repeatedly, they need to win. They need to stand for something, and they need to win. It seems like they've said, well, we're not going to be the type of club that you just decide as a player.
Yeah,
you can just walk out.
That's
the
what
door.
I like.
And look, it does go both ways, because no doubt the club will, Flannel will come in and probably they'll have to tap some lads and go, look, your game time's going to be limited. We won't stand in your way if you want to go. But the Dragons have said they're going to stand for something. We're not going to let our players just decide they can walk out on us. But I think it's time for them to scour the roster of the Gold Coast Titans and say, well, if you want him for next season, let's look at doing a swap.
Yeah.
Where Shane Flanagan identifies that Dragons roster is needs improvement, go after do that as part of a trade deal.
Mm.
Now, obviously,
Is it only the Titans? What, the Broncos as well?
I don't think. I think it's the Titans for moving forward after next year. I don't think the Broncos is an option, a permanent option.
Oh, right.
I think they're under quite strict. Well, sorry, their salary cap's pretty tight. They've got to get Payne Haas over the line. Reece Walsh, I think, needs an upgrade. I think Ezra Mann needs an upgrade. Like, there's plenty of players there that'll be going knocking on the door.
Yeah, Ezra Mann will be getting a big pay rise, I reckon.
And then they've still got to fill. Flegler's gone, and Farnworth has gone as well. So I don't think they can go splash.
Benny Hunt played in the centres in Origin.
He did. He did. But I reckon that's the way to do it is go for a swap deal.
Yeah.
Or
it's just tough because if you're Gold Coast and you want Ben Hunt, it'd be tough to give up who they'd be demanding.
Yeah,
like Tino, Mo Fodawaker, those guys are completely different positions. And I just don't see Gold Coast letting them go. So,
and well, then you don't get Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
That's the power of the negotiation, isn't it? So, it is what that's what you go. You probably go in and maybe say, we'll do a straight swap for Tino, and they go, yeah, of course, no, and then you figure out someone, maybe one of their outside backs that are performing well, like Con Pereira. I think the Dragons need a bit of speed. I think
he's good, man.
Did you see that try he scored yesterday?
Because Cobbo's fast. Like, you see Cobbo get an intercept, no one tracks him.
It was insane.
He looking good. I can't believe the Broncos lost, actually.
Yeah, but on the Hunt side of things, I think I've like reflected on my own exit for the Dragons, and I went and left and signed a short-term deal in St. Helens.
Yeah,
but I think there was a massive difference there, because I was wary of myself being like, well, I kind of did it, but it was very different, and it was a lot earlier at this stage in the season.
The fact that I didn't know you did it's a lot different, because if you don't know Ben Hunt wanted to release and is trying to leave the club, you haven't been paying attention to rugby league right now. It's been in every article or every news media.
I just don't think it's over yet now. But I worry about like Ben Hunt's own personal mindset and his well-being, because
does he swallow the pill and go, look, I tried but didn't, and I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet and dig my feet in here.
I wonder if he. Yeah, I don't think this is over. It's not going away. There's going to be more fallout from this. There's going to be more discussions.
Yeah,
but I think at the moment the Dragons have done the power play, and also I don't necessarily think it would be a good thing for the Broncos. Like it might be.
Neither did I.
Like, it might upset the apple cart up there. Yeah, you know, like they've got a good thing happening.
I didn't think it was a good idea either. And I don't think Ben Hunt wants to play hooker as well. Like, he might have said that he could at Broncos, but I don't think he wants to, in all honesty.
Well, why else would he go there?
I don't know.
He's not going to get in front of Reynolds.
I don't know, premiership.
Well, yeah,
chance.
to play play hooker.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a good thing, but I reckon there's certainly more to come from this. But again, the Dragons have to win and put an individual's well-being at the side. It's like, well, no, because you signed a deal 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So we hold the cards on this, and as unfortunate as it is for you, you just can't do it.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for him because all this attention is just going to bring the spotlight on his performances going forward for the Dragons.
Well, they were dreadful on Friday against the poor Warriors. Well, against the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say poor Warriors. No, Warriors are good. They're back.
Warriors are back.
I don't know where that word
Sean
came
Johnson
from.
is back,
isn't he? Just, but I think the Dragons obviously now they're playing not to win the wooden spoon is what they're playing for. Like, as sad as that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think plenty more to come. Hopefully the Dragons fans get behind Ben Hunt. and behind their team as well.
Yeah.
Because it must be
well, he's a lovable guy because
he'll have a crack.
Yeah, he
will
game.
have a crack every week, and sad state of affairs. What's going on down there? But fingers crossed. Hopefully everybody wins. But like I said repeatedly, from a Dragons point of view and their fans and their members, just make sure they win. Speaking of Brisbane,
Broncos,
Reece Walsh.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch the game. I watched the highlights, but I just saw the what do you call it? The footage.
The footage of him having an interaction.
He didn't get sent when I swore at the ref. I didn't even swear at the ref. I called him a cheating bastard.
Let's have a listen to what happened.
Obstruction. Go again. You go to the. Adam, he'll go next one.
So Reece Walsh has sort of come out and said he was directing those words at somebody else, not towards the match official. Yeah. But the match official has interpreted that it's going to him. He should have been sent.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, so I don't get it. And even you hear Reynolds go, Walshy. Like, so that doesn't help. That's as if Reynolds is telling him to calm down. He's still, like, whatever comes of this, I've been involved in not too dissimilar incidents. Didn't swear, but I was very animated towards a referee. Yeah. And I guess the important thing, Reece Walsh is one of our game's biggest stars, and his potential and he's a future face of the game. He's got it all. Yeah. And this is sort of like creeping into his game a little bit about challenging the officials on decisions. Yeah. But it's just important he has good people around him to just direct him in the right way, because you just can't do it. He can't afford to cost his team a game, because he'll win plenty of games for the Brisbane Broncos, but we can't afford to do it. And sometimes you've just got to change. You've just got to change that behaviour, as hard as it can be and as frustrating as it is.
Yeah, I noticed that when I got done, I noticed that it was a behavioural change for me. Like when we did con games and stuff, I used to swear at our coaching staff and just stuff like that. And I think Craig pulled me into the office and said, like, mate, like, this is where it starts. Like, you might get a bad call. And he was purposely getting us bad calls in games. So I would, like, try not to react.
Games at training. Yeah. Like, they get one of the staff to, like...
He'd make the ref, like, we was his son most of the time, Azza. He'd make him, like, specifically give me shit calls. And I didn't know. And I'd always have to try to bite my tongue. And... but yeah, it's just a frustration thing when you're out there on the game, and even when you're in a con game, like at training, you let it all out because you're so competitive. And to his defense, though, I've seen him spray multiple of his teammates on field. And if it's an obstruction call and it's probably a chance that he can set up a try or he's scoring a try, he's one of those guys. And Billy Slater was the same, that demand fucking perfection. Yeah. From everybody in their team, and he's not afraid to belittle you because you didn't do your job at the time. So if I was to defend him, I would say that I've seen multiple times he's demanded perfection. Yeah, well, he's facing a mandatory 3 weeks on the sideline. Yeah, well, I think when you get referred to judiciary, it means it's more than a fine and more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
he'd miss Origin.
So when I did it, they wanted 4 weeks, and then we got it down to 3.
Yeah. So he'd end up missing Origin if that's the case, which would be
Origin's over, baby.
It is.
I wonder if that brings KP out of retirement. You know, he's
yeah. Be interesting. But to see what happens.
Either way, he's firing KP. So
yeah. I said this yesterday and had a bit of a chat around it. Like, why are we playing a third game? Yeah, like the series is over, right? Yeah, and basically the conclusion is it's down to money.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say the amount of revenue it brings in. Yeah, it's money and pride Pride for the players, money for the game.
But it's not if well, we see plenty of clubs complain or back their players up, the injury fallout, the effect it has on the competition. You know, people offer solutions around pause the season and have, you know, a month of Origin football mid-season. People say have it at the end of the season. But one of the solutions to reduce the fallout and reduce the consequence of State of Origin is if it goes 2-0, we just don't play a third game. Because it'd be the same in...
But it's just the
money. I know. It's because it's the same in basketball, like or NHL when they have like a best of 7. Like when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Like the Ashes and cricket tests, they do, but Test cricket, they don't have clubs that they have to go back to and play midway through the Ashes. So we are very unique as a sport in terms of this interstate competition disrupting a season. But for me, there's a simple potential solution, but it comes at the cost of, you know, you don't get the revenue and the TV and all that. But also the players don't get paid as well. Yeah, well, I mean, but then I know people will say that. Well, don't argue about saying, oh, too many players get injured or the workload, because here's a potential solution to maybe take a little bit of that away. But people just don't want to hear it. Yeah.
Well, if I was a Queenslander, I'd want to wash them. If I was playing for Queensland.
Yeah, well, but
that 3-0, just it's very.
You can whitewash them. 2-0.
Yeah, true.
There's your whitewash.
Yeah,
we won 2-0. You couldn't even take us to a decider. Anyway, I don't think it's going to happen. But
no, it's definitely not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Makes way too much money.
Because the money side of it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and, you know, it's not. Unfortunately.
But I think if you did a poll with the players, they'd still want the third
they'd still want a third game. Because
the money.
Yeah. It's the same when people like
money runs the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Like it's the same with player workload. Like, and everyone's like, oh, you know, but if some squillionaire decided he wanted to have like a similar to like the IPL.
Yeah.
In wherever, and he was just going to do a short form tournament of rugby league players, like a Dubai Sevens, and started throwing, and the NRL released their players to do it. You telling me the players wouldn't? Yeah, if you threw enough money at them, a 4-week tournament in Dubai, go on, I'll be all right.
Jeez, my knees just pulled up pretty good.
You know what? I'm gonna
that ankle injury's just come right.
You know, I'm gonna postpone that surgery another year and just get it done.
Yeah, like, you wouldn't even need to throw that much money at him either.
No, you wouldn't.
The opportunity to travel, it's
or even have it in somewhere in Australia if they put on a nines tournament.
Yeah, no,
and with a financial incentive to do it, because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
and it's the same with Origin. You know, all the stuff about player workload. Well, you get trumped by money. That's what it is. That's why we have it on Wednesday night. That's why we have it at the point in the season we do. So I just don't see the point in pretending that's not the driving factor behind it.
Yeah. Poor Turbo. I just thought about Turbo.
Yeah. That's a great segue into Manly, actually, who look like they're going to get Luke Brooks.
Oh, yeah. That's a great buy if they get him. And the price, I think, what, 2 mil, did you say?
I'm not sure what the
because he's got good footy in him.
Yeah,
he's playing good this year.
And you know what I think will help him?
And a number 6 for 650 grand a year, that's pretty good.
I think what will help him as well, he's not going to be the main man. It's going to be Cherry Evans.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Schuster, whether or not he moves on, whether he stays, how that all works out. But I think for Luke Brooks to go to a team like Manly, where he's not going to have the weight of expectation, like carrying, you know, the West Tigers and their army of fans on his shoulders each and every week. Yeah, I think it's going to do him the world of good. I think it'd be a great signing.
I think too. I think he won't know himself.
Yeah,
when he's there. There won't be hardly any pressure. By the time he's there, Turbo should be back, beauty.
Mm.
But
Jeez,
yeah, I think
you got to feel for Turbo, don't you?
I saw some ridiculous stat. It was like 62 weeks or something. He's been injured.
You know what? You pay the price for being a finely tuned athlete.
Yeah.
That's why I never stretched.
Yeah. That's why those Toyota Odysseys like us don't break down.
No, we just
They
keep on,
don't break down.
keep on chugging away. We're not finely tuned at all.
I can't even say that. I'm broken.
Yeah.
We may need a little hardware change every now and then.
A little bit of a grease.
But
and a bit
the
of
engine never goes.
No, exactly.
Get a flat tyre here and there.
Yeah, that's right. But no, great move for Man. It looks like it's going to be locked away for next season. All according to people in the media, it'll be done by the end of this week. So great move for him, mate. We often, when we come into this studio, you know, we have a bit of a chat before, and it's like, Tony, are the mics on? Like, did that get picked up? What about your mate? Let's have a listen to this. So for those viewers that don't know, Melbourne Storm get the victory over the weekend. Christian Welsh and Craig Bellamy go into the press conference, and Christian Welsh finds out that Newcastle have lost at the Penrith Panthers. Let's have a listen to this.
How did the Knights not win?
Huh?
Knights.
Yeah.
Panthers didn't have anyone.
I do feel
Couldn't happen to a better bloke.
Will he be shattered about that? Will he be a bit?
I actually messaged him straight away, and he just said hot mics. But I think he'll be a little bit upset because I think we got a good relationship with Adzi, the Newcastle coach, and I don't know how well or he would have taken it because he's quite an aggressive man. But yeah, it just couldn't happen to a better bloke.
Mate,
surely he knows.
But the thing is, though, that is just a normal conversation, isn't it? Like, you can imagine. I can imagine, like, for some strange reason, he found out in the press conference. But he'd be like, you know, if you found that out the changing rooms or you check your phone or whatever, it'd be like, geez, like, and he's right.
Yeah.
What he said is actually right, and it's not a dig on Newcastle. It's just like how the.
It's just you've got to figure out your time and place for that conversation.
Yeah. I do feel a little bit sorry for him, because he seems like a good guy, and
he's a great guy. He's ridiculously funny. He doesn't appear funny, but he's got this thing about white front rowers and they're going extinct. So he calls himself the White Rhino. And he literally refers to himself in third person as the White Rhino. So he'll be like, oh, the White Rhino doesn't like that.
Anyway, it's a valuable lesson. Anyone that's around the mics are always on. The mics are always on.
He would have actually referred to you as a White Rhino, I reckon. Dying breed.
I'm technically dead now when it comes to my playing career, so yeah, he's right. Now it's time for this section of the show, brought to you by Tooheys.
Fan feelings.
Nothing more than
How do you feel?
All right, let's have a look at the questions. First question from Sean. Are the Warriors now a genuine Premiership contender in season 2023?
That's a tough question. I mean, they've had incredible, I guess, glow up, but they've just really got to, I guess, be tested against the likes of Penrith, Cowboys now, Bunnies. They need to get a win over those sides. They've come close on, to beating teams.
Yeah, I think that they're right in the mixer.
Yeah.
They're right in the mixer, and
It's just hard to judge.
it's hard. There's probably 8 or 9 teams that, and the Roosters are one of them, where you go, we'll just wait and see what happens the back end in the next sort of 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Because they could prime themselves, the Warriors. I think if they were to get a home semi, like how good would that be?
Yeah.
Like if they can get a
Yeah.
top 4 finish or even finish 5th or 6th and get that home semi, I think we'll see them advance. But the way they're playing, like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely sensational.
It's so good to see Sean playing the way he's
Yeah.
playing.
Like he's surely got to go around again.
Yeah.
Like he's playing out of his skin.
It'd be silly for him not to.
Yeah.
But I think he will, just because, like all the media coverage of him post game, and like interacting with the fans, you can see he's happy. Like he's really happy
He
and
does look
enjoying
happy,
your
doesn't he?
football. And I just don't think it's time for him yet.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit of a fine balance, like about how and when you want to go out. But he's it's great to see him back in like that smile on his face, because he seemed like he'd lost that for a while.
Yeah,
And
for a long time.
yeah, makes all the difference.
But yeah, I guess he owns that team now, and you can see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the Warriors will decide if they're a premiership contender in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think from a squad where they're at, like, are they ready to go and have a shake of it in September? I don't quite know. I don't quite know, because they haven't played playoffs for such a long time. Can they go from being a club that's not been around the playoff scene for a while, then to all of a sudden win a premiership? I think that might be a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see them play in September.
Yeah.
We will see them play in September, but are they actually in contention? I don't think so. Yeah, I think there's a few teams that are a bit far ahead of them. Next question from Billy. Jimmy, how do you brew the perfect tea? Well, Billy, are you ready? So, how do you brew the perfect tea? You've got to get, first off, your cup choice or your mug choice.
yes, goes a long way.
Goes a long way. So you need ceramic, and it needs to be white on the inside of the cup.
Really?
Yeah, it got to be white on the inside.
Why?
Because you can judge the contrast better of the strength of the
Ah, right.
tea. All these fancy mugs that have different. In fact, there's one behind you, Brandon, which would be a great example. So see that
A little
white
plug at the same time.
Yeah, see that's white. That's perfect. So you can contrast, and you can see that the strength. So you're not playing guessing games.
So
against
if it was yellow on the inside,
oh mate, you.
That's true.
So you can check. It's a great gauge of checking the strength of your tea. Having a white ceramic cup. So there's point number one. So then you get a Tetley's Extra Strong. Pop that in. Boil the kettle. Now you got to be quick on the draw here, because you want to be getting the kettle just as it clicks off, because then the water's at its peak heat. Pour it over the bag. Don't just pour it into the cup. You got to pour it over the bag. Get the brewing,
because if you pour it on the other side, the bag floats to the top.
exactly. So you got to pour it over the bag, right?
Yeah.
There's a process with about not full. You know how much, because you've got to add milk, obviously. So you got to leave room for some milk. Let it brew for probably about 2 minutes. Pull the string, just bob it up and down a little bit. Nice strength. Full cream milk. And then here's another common mistake that people make. They plop their milk in. You got to pour the milk in. Pour. You got to have control.
What do you mean plop?
Well, like my dad, for instance, he'd just like plop milk in. Like he wouldn't take
It's like
any,
a onomatopoeia, plop.
plop, plop. He'd just like he'd lash it in. He'd throw it in.
So the old boy doesn't know how to make a tea.
Oh, mate, my dad makes the worst cup of tea. I actually get embarrassed.
He's gonna fly over.
I'm actually it's embarrassing. I think he does it on purpose so he doesn't have to make them. But if he says to me, "Do you want a cup of tea, son?" I'll say,
I'll do
yes, but I'll put my own milk in, because he is. And
Is
you know
there
what? You know
any
what else?
science behind the old plop and the pour?
Well, you know what else? He can't make a good sandwich either.
It's Rinse Stewie's dad.
He makes an
Stewie's
awful
dad day
sandwich.
today.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. He like he won't spread the butter or the mayonnaise to the corner. He just frop it on. And you know what else he does? Like, he'll have a sandwich.
That is sickening that he doesn't spread the butter.
You know what else he does? He'd have like, or you'd think you're getting an open face sandwich, but he'd just like fold the bread. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't put the bread on top of another piece.
That is rude, man.
I know. That's bad, isn't it? Like, he just folds
That's
it.
terrible.
It is. Like, he just folds the bread.
Maybe he's cutting down carbs.
No, but you'd have two. You'd have two folded sandwiches instead of just cutting it.
That is, your dad sounds odd.
Old or odd?
Odd.
Oh yeah, he is odd. He is very odd.
That is
very odd. But mate, honestly, you can't trust him to make a cup of tea. It's actually genuinely embarrassing how bad.
Do you
a cup of
keep
tea.
the tea bag in?
No. So anyway, don't plop the milk in like my dad. You got to put a slow pour because you got to control. You put too much in, and you're screwed. You're gonna have to get 6 again. Start again. Pour that thing away.
You can't grab half a tea bag.
No. So I reckon pour a little bit of milk in with the tea bag in.
Yeah.
Then squeeze the tea bag.
Yeah,
Squeeze it.
Is that a thing? I was about to say, whenever I used to make my granddad tea, for some reason I'd pull the tea bag out and squeeze it.
Squeeze it with a spoon.
No, I'll just squeeze it.
Oh, yeah. All right. If you've got clean hands, actually, with putting your finger up your nose, no. Squeeze it with a spoon.
I'll make you a tea next
in it goes. Remove the bag. Then you bit of a stir. Assess the colour. Then it might, depending on personal taste, might require a little bit more milk.
Yeah.
And just I do like a stronger
this
tea.
guy has had too much tea. Can't be an Earl Grey either.
Oh, mate, Earl Grey. Are you kidding, aren't you, mate?
Earl Great.
Are you in it?
Nah, I hate it.
Mate, you need to sort out the people at your stadium. Because that's all they've got in the press box is Earl Grey, unless
maybe they just don't like you, Jimmy.
Well, they probably don't, but it's a bit annoying. Anyway, that's how you brew the perfect tea, Billy.
So, as a commentator, do you take your own tea?
Yeah,
you know who's a massive tea? Trent Robinson, and it's not like he just likes a tea here and there. He brings his teacup set up, like jug, everything to training.
Good on him.
Same one every time.
Not just a great coach.
Yeah, see,
not just a great coach.
It's like a little. Looks like it's from Tibet, straight from the Tibet markets. And he'll like carry it, and then he's got this like tea that he's got from overseas, and he's got to like grind it off into it. Yeah, like full into it.
Yeah, I'm just get the bag in.
Some woo-sah shit.
Like good on him. Good on Trent. You learn something new every day. Last question from Arnie: if you could create a WWF/WWE character, what would you be? Create, but
they already created Sheamus.
Bro,
you guys are actually so similar. You just need to grow that big. What do you call that? Is it a goatee
I
or
don't know. It's a bit of a
the lumberjack?
He's got a great rig on him, Sheamus, but he's very white. Actually, you could probably make a cup of tea in Sheamus's belly button. Because he's that white. The contrast would be amazing.
I'm not sure you can teabag someone's belly button.
Be a perfect colour to make it, contrast your tea against Sheamus, the rest.
He's almost pink.
He's almost see-through. It's great rig.
He's very transparent.
Who would you like to be in the WWE or WWF?
I don't know. I think they need to bring Rikishi back. You remember Rikishi?
Yes, I do, yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to froth him. Yeah. Get my older brother, do the Rikishi. No, I didn't get him to do it on me.
Oh.
That would be disgusting. But yeah, I used to love him, or Mankind when he got the dirty sock out. Maybe I could.
That was Dude Love, the dirty sock.
No, Mankind.
Mankind had the mandible claw. He was the claw. The sock was.
I thought it was Mankind.
No, well, Mick Foley had like 3 different characters. I think he came into. What's the tournament?
You know how I've just thought of a character actually.
Go on.
You know how they had Booker T? I could be Booger T.
Oh. You're a disgrace.
I'd pick it and then just put it straight in your mouth.
That would be a great finishing
Or I'd
move.
pick it, I'd put it in and I'd get superpowers.
Yeah. Vince McMahon, are you watching? I think Mick Foley entered the Royal Rumble 3 times as Mankind, Mick Foley and Dude Love. And I don't know if he had another character as well. But
Yeah, he did. He did. What's his name? Nah, can't remember. No,
Yeah.
but he did. He did have 3.
Yeah. I think I'd like to be, look, for me, Stone Cold Steve Austin was a bit of a hero. Sting, which, like,
Yeah.
when Sting fought the NWA.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not NWA. The NWO, the New World Order in WCW. He came in and they had all these, like Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan were like going off, and then they had all these fake Stings
Yeah.
come in, and like they're just throwing them all out, and they, like it's part of the thing.
You
like,
really love your wrestling.
like they're all in the Sting masks.
Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan he thinks they're all fake, and then he hits this one, and like turns around, he's like laughing, and then this Sting character's just like, it's him. And everyone's like, ah! And then Sting just like clears the decks of these NWO guys, mate. It is amazing. Eric Bischoff's like, it's Sting. Like, oh man, I honestly,
Who was that commentator? JR. I used to love him.
Oh, good God, hellfire, mate. I remember. Did you see the Undertaker v Mankind? I think in one of the very first Hell in a Cell.
I probably did. It was such a world ago for me.
Yeah, Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the cell, which was like, oh my God. Like he fell in. Poor old Spanish announcers table used to get absolutely destroyed. It was just like, I don't know if that was legit or if it was just like a legit commentary or it was actually just set up to be thrown into. But Undertaker's lobbed Mankind off the top of the cell into the Spanish announcement table, but then they've got back up and then he's chokeslammed him, but he's gone through.
Oh yeah, I've
he's
seen
gone
that.
through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I don't think that was planned.
Yeah,
but like Mankind has gone like 6 again, like because I think they genuinely like, well, like, are you okay? And he's going, yeah, play on. But
no, I do remember that. I remember seeing that. That's like a massive wrestling event.
Yeah,
Goldberg was good. I used to love how
Goldberg.
Well, I just loved how he smoked people.
Oh, sorry, I was.
You're thinking Gold Dust.
I was thinking Gold Dust. You're right.
Loser.
Yeah, that was weird. Did you ever remember when WCW? Oh no, because Goldberg was in WCW, but WWF Santa was Gilberg. And he was like this real skinny bald dude. And, mate, hilarious. They used to be like, Gilbert. Gilbert. Like, it was like Vince McMahon's basically like, screw you to WCW. Mate, great little documentary, Monday Night Wars, like about the battle between WCW and WWF, like how it all came about. Is amazing.
What's WWE?
WWE used to be WWF.
Yeah.
But then they changed because I think the World Wildlife Foundation weren't happy. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
They both had the same name.
Who's that? There's an NRL player in WWF at the moment.
Yeah, Daniel Vida. Is he actually?
Yeah. He's in there. That's pretty.
I wish I could.
He said I should try it out.
Booger tea.
Booger beat. No, we'll go booger cheese.
Booger cheese.
Oh no!
Oh God! Good God, it's cheese! Or just do that. Oh, that could be your finishing move. Just blow. Oh, there you go, JR. Oh, good God! Can you imagine how good? All right. Well, on that bombshell, I think that just about wraps us up. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please leave a comment as always, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and we'll catch you next week.
Sure.